Good evening, everybody. It is the Crackpot. It is about 10:40 on Friday, February the 18th, if I remember correctly. Yes, I do need more sleep, and I look every bit of it, even though I've had a bath tonight. What a nasty day. The rumor machine is cranking out, maybe not so much rumors as just trying to figure out where exactly the truth is. I've heard reports both ways. Fact is, a couple people were trampled by horses, and now we're trying to figure out, I've heard reports that the lady has died, and also heard there was a gentleman who had a heart attack who's also died, and so we're trying to figure out what exactly happened there. Hopefully nobody died, but there's no doubt that people got trampled by horses, which is really crummy. Police seem to have picked a line and aren't moving. We're actually watching on live TV here. CTV is really good, actually, if you mute it so the propaganda doesn't come through. But they haven't really moved in 6 hours. I think that may have something to do with, I believe Wellington Street is actually federal property, so there may be some jurisdictional problems there, which is interesting because they're ignoring all the other laws. What difference does that one make? A lot of trucks have left the hill, gone to various places. I think the word was they're going to be heading out to some of the major cities in Ontario, like towards Montreal and possibly Toronto, that kind of thing, to maybe join up with some other protesters there. So yes, a bunch of trucks are leaving the hill, and honestly, there's no shame in leaving. I've talked to quite a few people who've bugged out. There's no shame in leaving this point. We've driven the other side to violence over a peaceful protest with lots of food, clean streets, happy homeless people, thriving businesses, the ones who chose to open thrived. We had a completely peaceful protest, and the other side responds with brutal violence. And so we've won. We invoked the beast to violence to try to cover up what they're trying to cover up, and I'll try to stay away from that as much as possible. But anyways, we've won. The people who are leaving have been here for almost 3 weeks. Some of them have been here for 3 weeks already. There's no shame in anybody who needs to go home. Of course, the government is being ridiculous. They're pulling all the stops, going after bank accounts and all kinds of silly things, and being nasty about when they acquire some people too. So there's no shame in people bugging out. I've had to deal with a little bit of that too. Our truck we had to move it last night, and so we don't have a vehicle in the game anymore. But I do have a bit of a following here. People are relying on me for news, so I can't really do that when I'm in jail. So I've had to kind of swallow my pride a bit and spend some time in my hotel room to do this job. I can't go out on the front lines and get myself arrested. That would just be silliness. So I do spend some time outside, but I also do need to do this because lots of people are waiting for updates from me. We've had a gazillion messages the past couple of days with the fury of things happening here. We have not responded to most of them because most of them are nonsense. Those of you who actually have legitimate things, we are trying to get to those as quickly as we can. I noticed one quick thing before I did this video here. A person asked about the project last night that we requested people for. The project was shuffling some vehicles strategically around to make things a little more difficult on the hill last night, and so we needed a bunch of people there so that the police wouldn't have any chance to try to interfere with the moving of the vehicles. Apparently there was actually maybe too many people there. That caused some difficulties. The truck we're trying to move up the hill spun out in the snow, but there was a whole pile of people there, so they just pushed it. So that was all pretty cool. The atmosphere on the hill is actually still, or last time I was out, was actually still peaceful. People are really frustrated and shocked and feeling very shamed at our government for how they've responded to this peaceful protest with a whole pile of violence. But there's the odd person who's lashing out at police. They're standing up there, they're yelling at them, swearing at them, and then of course they end up being pulled behind police lines and dealt with. But the majority of people are just standing up there. Lots of freedom chants and singing national anthem and those kind of things. And people are just, they're frustrated with this. This is how the government has chose to resolve this rather than just coming out and talking with us. They would rather do this. So that's really sad, but the atmosphere up on the hill is still good. There's lots of people that have vowed that they're not going to go anywhere, which is all well and dandy. They're totally welcome to do that. But other people too have realized, we have made our point. We've invoked the beast to violence to try to cover things up, and so our point has been made. The fire's been started across the country and across the globe, and so they're on their way homes to try to resume as much of a normal life as we can. As I said, I'm kind of exhausted. I'm sure there's going to be some developments overnight. I don't imagine that the police are going to just hold that line and just stay there all night. We will see what happens. They're inevitably going to try to clear this whole area, Wellington and all the side streets and stuff. We will see how long that takes. We'll try to keep you guys updated as much as we go along. The big news I was supposed to announce this morning, I never got around to, is we have press passes now, which is pretty cool. I'm not an actual journalist, but there is a person who is an actual journalist that we're now we're not working for, but the press passes give us another degree of safety and a reason to be moving around. So that really helps us be able to do these videos. So that was my big announcement. So we now have, we're actually working with a couple other people we've met here who have actual real camera gear and stuff. And so we're helping them out with interviews and stuff. So expanding the network a little bit and just trying to do a better job. So you'll be seeing some of that footage. I may try and share that around on our page tonight if we can get some of it up. So that is about the day in a nutshell. I am beat, as I'm sure most people out on the front line. Some of them are out there all day in the nasty wind and cold. And so anyways, we will be in touch with you guys in the morning. Try to get some sleep.